Welcome back to the HLS kitchen. I'm over here in Salad Corner. I was at a restaurant the other day and I ordered what turned out to be an amazing salad. So of course I started thinking in my head, okay, none of this stuff's organic. I paid $12. I can recreate this at home for a quarter of the cost and have 4 times as much food. So here we are. We're going to somewhat recreate this salad and maybe switch out some ingredients that I think are a better choice for me. So let me know what you think. So the salad had something called jicama in it, and I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it is a root or a tuber, and it is a great source of vitamin C, which is something I always try to add to my salads, to my greens, because the vitamin C helps the iron be more bioavailable to our bodies. So I always try to add it. So that is something that we are definitely going to do today. We're going to start with greens though. So the greens I chose for this are baby arugula. And I don't love arugula, but I love what it does for the body. So arugula is bitter. It's a bitter green, which is more astringent. And astringent is even more detoxifying for our body and very supportive to the liver, which ties into one of the other ingredients, which are beets, very supportive to the liver. Spring is a season for detox, so to get more of this stuff into our diets, because we want to support our body. So like I said, I don't love arugula. It can be very bitey sometimes, but baby arugula, that's the way to go for me anyway. And then I'm mixing it with some Italian mix because I like to get as much color as possible. And this had the purple. It's more like a cabbage, I think, but it's radicchio. That's what it's called. So I'm going to mix these. But I wanted to show you how I handle my greens because we should be chewing each mouthful 30 times. I'm not doing that. So I wanted to show you how I chop my greens every time, every salad. I don't leave them whole. I mean, even in here, they're chopped up, but that's not good enough for me. So I'm going to bring you down. And I've already made a bit of a mess. So this lettuce is right at home. And all the green layered. So what I'm doing is kind of rolling this into a lettuce log. Because the tighter you can roll it, the easier it is to cut. You have more control over your vegetables. And I'm just doing kind of a chiffonade. Nothing fancy, except I guess I just spoke French, so that's kind of fancy. Okay, and that's it. Nothing hard. You can see it's really a nice cut to that. Okay, so let's get back to the salad. Those are our greens. And, okay, I want to introduce you to a product if you don't already know. This is the best thing since anything. Cooked organic beets. They're relatively affordable, especially if you have a Costco membership. You get 16 whole organic cooked beets, peeled, for less than $10. I think it's $8.99. I wasn't buying at Costco, so I just got this at my health food store, but since I've been using them, I'm never cooking beets again. No way. I'm not peeling beets. It's a hassle, and it makes it not so sustainable. So this makes eating beets more sustainable for me. Try it. Maybe it'll work for you. Okay, so this is what those beets look like. Look how perfect they are. Another ingredient that I got real excited about is jicama. And like I already said, loaded with vitamin C. I have sliced them and put them in water in the fridge so they get extra juicy and crunchy. Makes them a little more starchy, kind of brings the starch to the surface, but I don't care about that. Okay, another reason I love jicama is that it's a root vegetable. So I used to whip out a root veggie mash for my dinner special sometimes at the cafe. And I was trying all different kinds of roots. I had never tried a jicama back then, so I thought I'm gonna throw that in with my red potatoes and sweet potatoes and turnip and celery root, all of it. Well, okay, well here's the thing. What I loved about the root veggie mash was it's mineral rich. I used to like to joke around and say, eat more roots to keep your roots strong. Because minerals are great for blood flow, they're great for everything. Enzymes and minerals, basis of human health. Here's the thing though. So I feel like jicama must be extra good for strong roots because it stays hard. No matter how, I cooked it like 45 minutes, could not get it to not be crunchy. So we're gonna leave it raw, which means we're leaving the enzymes intact. So it's a win-win. So I have beets, jicama, fresh blueberries, and you can see I've already assembled this salad. So, and I've sprinkled some goat cheese on top. I love goat cheese. I don't eat a lot of cheese. I don't eat a lot of dairy products, but when I do, I try to go for goat cheese, especially because it's a great accent to the beets, and goat products, goat milk products are easier for humans to digest because it's only one molecule off from human milk. So the other thing, so the salad I had almonds, whole almonds with the skin on. I thought, you know, it'd be really good in here? Pistachios. Almonds with the skin can be high in lectins, so you could soak them and lightly roast them and salt them, or you could just buy pistachios already done, lightly salted, because the next thing is the dressing, and this dressing packs a punch. So this dressing is red wine vinegar based. Red wine vinegar is super pungent, so I like to temper it with water. Plus it helps balance out the sulfates in here because I'm sensitive to that. But I sometimes want this flavor, so everything in moderation. So I've taken about 4 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, about 4 tablespoons of water, about a tablespoon of this mustard. This is real Dijon mustard. And it has a bite to it, almost like horseradish in there, which I guess is the mustard thing. I don't know. And there's very few ingredients, which we like. Then about a tablespoon of raw unfiltered honey. How do you know good honey? When it doesn't run. I had to use a spoon to get that out of there, but it's cloudy. You want that. It's unfiltered. That means that more than likely the propolis is intact, and that's what helps people with allergies, and it's immune boosting. Then I took about a tablespoon. I have a mixture, an equal mixture of hemp hearts and chia seeds in here. About a tablespoon of that in my dressing. Then about a teaspoon of granulated garlic. And about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And about a pinch of Himalayan salt. Always use salt with color. And then that was it. I didn't even use any oil. Here's my take on oil. It's a processed food. I still use it to cook sometimes. I try to keep it to a minimum. And I use oils that are derived from food. My 4 favorites are avocado, coconut, olive, and grapeseed. And speaking of 4, this salad definitely falls under the HLS motto, which is foreplay. Super easy to remember. Foreplay is fat, fiber, protein, greens. You try to get that at every meal and you're doing pretty good. So I'm going to mix my dressing up. I have a hand blender. And you're going to want to use a deep container because otherwise this stuff is going to fly everywhere. So I'm going to turn it on in a couple of ounces. And the great thing about adding the Dijon mustard is that you don't even need the oil in there. The mustard becomes the emulsifier, and you can see it's super creamy. And oh, we have a visitor. And I'm going to, since this is my dressing, I'm going to stick my finger in there. It's delicious. It's got the bite of the Dijon mustard, a little sweetness from the honey. Delicious. So I'm not going to dress this right now because I'm not going to eat it yet, and I want everything to stay crisp. So thanks for tuning in. And of course, I love you all equally. Until next time, stay loose.